G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Sam and today we're working on quite a lot of hip opening. So working on externally rotating the hips and also a few opportunities to play with some balance as well. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing and writing a comment, leave a like if there's something you want to see further on this channel. I'd love to hear from you. We will be using a block for today. One will suffice. If you have two, fantastic. But we're also going to have some points through the practice where our knee is going to be on the block. So if your blocks are a little harder, maybe roll up a tea towel and pop it on top just so you have a little more cushioning for the knee. And before we get started, if you want to see a longer version of this video with arm balances, handstands and everything like that, jump down in the description below. There's a link to my Patreon page where you can see all the longer versions of the classes I'll post here on YouTube. So that being said, jump on the mat and let's get started. So we're going to begin today's practice starting on all fours. So as you come to hands and knees, we're going to first start by tucking the toes under. It's always nice to get that stretch through the bottoms of the feet. Start by pushing down through the big toe. Just see what that feels like as you press through the hands to send the hips back towards the heels. And then we want to slowly turn the heels away from one another so you can get that stretch through the smaller toes, the pinky toe, the fourth toe. So this is one of my favorite stretches when I very first start my practice because it allows you to mobilize the feet. And the feet are where we spend most of our life. So we want to feel a little more of a connection, which sometimes we can tend to lose, especially if we're spending a lot of time wearing shoes. Nice work. Then untuck the toes, send the hips back towards the heels with the fingertips outside the line of the hips. Just push through the top of the right foot, see if you can lift that right knee up and off the mat for a moment. So just finding that opposing stretch there, stretching out through the front of the ankle. Allowing your breath to begin to calm down if you can, just a nice even flow in and out through the nose. Lower that right knee down, start to lift the left back up. The hands are just here for support. You may not need them at all, that's completely fine. But you know that the ground is there and you can rest your hands down if you need to. So you set that left knee down, we'll come back to all fours. Start to warm up through the wrists, so grounding through the hands, wrapping the biceps forward. Start by very gently taking your shoulders forward over the wrists, just so you experience this state of wrist flexion. You can start to rock back and forth. In fact, you can even tuck those toes under so you get that stretch through the toes as you move back as well. It's super important to warm up the wrists as we do spend far more time on the wrists in the yoga practice than we do in any other activity in our lives. Just start to turn your hands out towards either side, a little rock from side to side. Focusing here on pushing away from the floor, so feeling the shoulder blades spread apart. Really gripping the mat with the fingertips. When I look at the fingertips, they might start to go pink or white because you're really gripping the earth with them. And then we'll continue the journey. Send the fingers so they face back towards the thighs. Guide your hips back towards the heels. See if you can keep the palms flat for a moment. Just get that deeper wrist extension. Then working to keep the left arm where it is, bend the right elbow, lift the right palm up and off the mat. Feel that stretch through the fingers. And then we'll swap to the other side. Right palm will ground flat, left palm will lift up off the mat. Again, getting that stretch through the fingers. And then to finish off, I'll take the back of the hands to the mat, nice and close towards the knees. Just start to wiggle out your fingers there. Nice work. Then from here, coming through 3 rounds of cow-cat, just using your breath to connect with your body. The inhale will soften the belly, pull the chest forward, lift the gaze. And exhale to push, tuck the chin, round the back. 2 more, full inhale. And gentle exhale. 1 more just like that.
Awesome work. From here, the right side of the body is going to stay where it is. Extend the left leg back behind you. Start to reach your left arm up towards the sky here. So if you can, keep those right toes tucked under. That's going to give you a little more stability. It'll allow you to peel that left side of the body up a little higher towards the sky. And you can push down through that right hand to help your gaze, maybe even lift up towards that left hand. Feel an element of engagement in your left glute. So you want this left glute to start to activate. And if you have a little more space, option to lean forward, just lift that left leg in the air. See what that feels like. Trying to point that left pinky toe up towards the ceiling, feeling the glute activate a little more to help lift that leg. Take a full breath here. As we exhale, we're going to soften the left hand down, close off that left hip, so it's the same height as the right. Keep the left leg floating, start to reach the right arm out in front of you. Stabilizing, working to keep both shoulders, both hips the same height. We'll take a breath here. Then as we exhale, draw the right elbow and the left knee together. Excellent, just like that, 2 more times. Inhale, extend, right arm forward, left leg back. Exhale, draw the elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, right arm forward, left arm back. Exhale, squeeze the elbow, knee, really push through the left hand, and then come back to all fours. And we'll reset for the opposite side. So left side of the body stays where it is. This time right leg will extend back behind you. Keep the left toes tucked under. Push through the left hand, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. And just get comfortable in this space for a moment first before we worry about lifting that back leg. So notice if the left shoulder's bunching up towards the chin, wrap the left shoulder blade onto the back. See if you can get a little more length through the neck. And if there's space, and we did before, we lean forward a touch, work to lift the right leg in the air, really activating that right glute here. So pinky toe is lifting up towards the ceiling. We lift that leg a little higher, take one last breath. And as we exhale, we roll to close off that right hip. Ground the right hand down. Push through both hands, then reach the left arm straight out in front of you. Working to stabilize both shoulders, both hips the same height. We'll take a breath in. Then exhale, draw the elbow to knee. Left elbow, right knee. Inhale, extend, left arm forward, right leg back. Exhale, draw in and squeeze. Third time's the charm. Inhale, extend, nice and long. Exhale, let the elbow touch the knee, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Then come back to all fours and we'll prepare for downward facing dog. So shuffle those knees back with the toes tucked under. We'll guide the hips up and back. When we arrive, see if you can find some stillness. We've already had the opportunity to warm up the feet. So see if you can just find a little bit of that steady stillness there in your downward facing dog. You're going to look back at the feet, shuffle the right foot a little closer to the left, then use your inhale to reach your left leg up. Toes will stay flexed, leg will stay straight. We'll just start to roll that left hip open. As we lift the left pinky toe to the ceiling, can we lower the right heel a little closer towards the floor? And then lift that left leg a little higher, finding that opening through the right hip. Take a breath here. And then exhale, we'll bend the left knee. Squeeze the heel in towards the bottom. Maybe gently turn your gaze underneath your left armpit. See if you can find a little more opening through that right hip. Take one last breath. As you exhale, we'll re-straighten that left leg and come back to find downward facing dog. From here, left foot will shuffle a little closer to the right. Inhale, reach the right leg up this time. So toes will stay flexed, leg nice and straight. Just start to roll that right hip open. Send the left heel a little closer to the floor as the right pinky toe lifts up really, really high. Take a breath here. And then exhale, bend that right knee. Squeeze the heel in and maybe send your gaze underneath your right armpit. Feel the right foot flexed as the heel squeezes in. Take one last breath. Then exhale, we'll come back. Finding downward facing dog. With the feet hip width distance apart, we're going to walk our hands to the feet, arriving in a forward fold at the back of the mat. From here, use your inhale, lift up halfway. As you exhale, we're going to sit down, find Malasana, so send the hips all the way down towards the heels. You can shuffle your feet a little wider, let the toes turn out. Just begin to find a gentle opening, so push the back of the left arm into the left leg and start to reach your right arm back behind you. You can make a fist with the left hand so you can push that left thigh out a little more as you gaze back over that right hand. Take a full breath. And as you come back, we'll change sides. So push the right elbow into the right thigh, start to peel and reach the left arm back behind you. Still sitting up nice and tall, so the chest is a lot higher than the hips here. Left shoulder is rolling away from the cheek. Take one last breath. As we exhale, we'll come back. Stay grounded through the feet. Keep the chest lifting nice and high. We'll slowly press to come all the way to stand. With feet hip width apart. Use your inhale, reach your arms straight up towards the sky. Then exhale, fold over the thighs. Bring the hands through the heart. Inhale, we'll lift up halfway, get long through the spine. Then keep the feet where they are, walk the hands to the top, find your plank pose. You may need to shuffle your feet back so your plank is nice and long. Keep the biceps wrapping forward. Drop your knees if you need to. There's going to be an opportunity for a few push-ups here, so take a breath. Exhale, we go for 3. So bend the elbow, press straight back up. Go for 2, push, and the 3rd. Then drop the knees, send the hips back towards the heels. As we exhale, we'll roll forward, lower all the way to the floor. Bhujangasana, cobra pose, tops of feet press down, inhale, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulders. Then exhale, forehead drop, toes tuck, we push straight up and back to downward facing dog. When we arrive, inhale, reach that right leg straight up towards the sky. As you exhale, pull the knee to chest, roll forward, gently land the right foot between the hands. We're going to come into warrior 2, so ground that back heel, keep a big bend in the right thigh as you reach the arms forward and back. Now don't worry, next round I'm going to be facing the front, so you're going to see this from both angles. We want to stay nice and low, so keeping those left toes turning in and the right knee falling or tracking over the right toes facing the front of the mat here. Spreading the arms apart wide so that you can sit nice and deep in that right thigh. We'll take an inhale together. As we exhale, we'll sit a little deeper. Nice one. Then on the inhale, straighten the front leg, reach both arms up towards the sky, look up. Then exhale, come back, warrior 2. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, come back, warrior 2, sitting a little deeper. Feel that left glute working. Last time, inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, find your warrior 2, sit nice and deep. Then from here, frame that right foot with the hands, lift up onto the back heel, and then push through the hands to pick up the right leg. Come back to plank pose. With the feet hip width distance apart, we're going to roll both heels to the right hand side, push through the right hand, reach your left arm straight up. See if you can pivot even the right side rib cage up towards the ceiling, wrapping the left shoulder blade onto the back. Take an inhale. As we exhale, we come through a push-up. Ground the left hand, roll onto toes, bend the elbows, lower chest to floor. Press straight back up, drop the knees. Inhale, hips to heels. Exhale as we spring forward. This time you can lift your knees, an option to take another push-up there before coming to the floor. Inhale for cobra, squeeze the shoulder blades. Option to push off the earth for upward facing dog. And then using the exhale to come back and finding downward facing. Inhale, left leg will reach up and back behind us this time. As we exhale, make sure you pull that knee to chest first. Keep the hips high as you step the left foot forward. Back heel drops, we find warrior 2. So let the right arm lift a little higher than you think it needs to go. Let the left thigh sit lower than you think it needs to go. And stabilize through the core here, so pull the navel in and up. Feel your right glute firm and maybe wrap this right hip forward just a little. Give you more space to dive deeper. Inhale together. Exhale for depth. And like we did on the previous side, 3 times. Inhale to straighten the front leg, reach the arms up. Exhale to find warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach those arms up. Exhale, we come back. Last time, inhale, arms reach tall. Exhale, we come back to warrior 2. Sit deeper than you have been. Then circle the hands to the mat. Back heel lifts. We push to step the left leg back to plank. Feet are hip width apart. This time both heels roll to the left. We push through the left arm to reach the right arm up towards the sky. Wrapping that left bicep forward, peeling the left side rib cage up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. As we exhale, we come through that push-up. Roll under toes, ground the right hand. Lower chest to floor. Press straight back up. Then knees drop. Inhale, hips to heels. Exhale, we spring through second push-up. Come to the earth. Inhale through your back bend, cobra, or push off the floor for upward facing dog. As we exhale, we come back to downward facing dog. Give yourself a couple of breaths here. We have one more round of that. It's going to get a little more creative, so try and stick with me. It's going to begin the same, so it'll seem familiar, but then we'll add on from there. Really working to wake up the legs. So shuffle left foot a little closer to right. And your next inhale, reach the right leg straight up and back. Exhale, pull the knee to chest, roll forward, land the foot between the hands. We'll find warrior 2, ground the back heel, coming up. Like we did before, 3 times. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the arms tall. Exhale, sitting deeper. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, deeper. Inhale, 3rd time, reach the arms up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, we find warrior 2. Nice work. So this is where it's going to get a little more tricky. Stick with me if you can. We're going to straighten the front leg just like we did before. When we arrive, we lift the front toes up and off the mat. So that's going to be our breath in. And then as we exhale, we bend into the left knee and sit the hips down nice and low, reaching the arms forward. So notice the right toes are lifting up and off the mat. The left heel is grounded flat. And then from here, lucky us, we're going to come straight back to where we were. So you push through the left foot, straighten both legs, reach the arms up. That's our inhale. And the exhale, we're back at warrior 2. Whew. Nice work. So we're going to do that 3 times. It's going to be with our breath. So the inhale lifts us up, the exhale will lower us down. So find your warrior 2 first. Sit nice and deep in that front thigh. We'll take a breath to prepare. So inhale. Gentle breath out. And as we inhale, straighten the front leg, lift the front toes up and off the mat. As you exhale, sit deep in that left thigh. Keep the right toes lifting. Inhale, come straight back up. Straighten both legs, reach the arms tall. And exhale, ground the right toes, warrior 2. 2 more times like that. Inhale, front leg straightens, front toes lift. Exhale, back leg bends, back heel stays grounded. Inhale, both legs straight, reach the arms up. Exhale, front toes ground, warrior 2. Last one, inhale, straighten the front leg, lift the right toe. Exhale as deep as you can possibly sit in that left thigh. Then inhale, reach those arms up, last time. Exhale, find your warrior 2. Nice work. Then circle the hands down to mat. Lift the back heel and start to shuffle your right foot out a little wider and drop your left knee down. So finding a little opening through this right hip, you can fall off onto the outside edge of the foot, open the knee out. Option to stay right where you are, or start to reach the right arm back behind you. And if there's space, bend up that left knee. See if you can catch the outside of the left ankle and flex the left foot there. If there's more space and you're more familiar with this shape, option to take your left forearm down onto the mat, but really work the twist. Peel the right shoulder back and squeeze the left heel in. Just be here for 2 full breaths. Last breath. And gently release that left foot. Ground the palms flat and tuck the back toes. Push yourself back to plank. And just like we did before, both heels roll to right. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, come through your push-up. And drop the knees. Inhale, hips to heels. Exhale, spring through that second push-up. Feel coming to the earth and inhaling through your back bend. Cobra or press off the earth to find upward facing dog. Exhale, we'll lift the hips up and back. We'll find downward facing. And we have our left side to go. We know what's to come this time. So it's going to move a little faster perhaps than it did on that right hand side. So looking back at your feet, inhale, reach the left leg straight up. Exhale, left knee pulls to chest, hips stay high as we step the foot between the hands. Finding warrior 2 when we begin. So mobilizing the legs first, just with this front half. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the arms tall. Exhale, sit back, warrior 2. Inhale to rise, both legs straighten, arms reach up. Exhale, Vira 2. Inhale, straighten that front leg, reach the arms up. If you ever hear the teacher say Vira 2, the Sanskrit name for warrior 2 is Vira Bhadrasana 2. Fun fact. Now from here we're going to put it all together like we did before. So the inhale will straighten the front leg, this time the front toes will lift up off the mat. And then you shuffle those back toes back just a touch. The exhale will bend the right knee. You reach the arms out in front. This time the left toes lift up and off the mat. So just know that the inhale lifts us, the exhale will lower us down. Right heel stays grounded flat, left toes lift up. From here, use your in-breath, push through the right foot, reach the arms up, both legs are straight. Then exhale, you ground those left toes, come back, find your warrior 2. Nice one. Now you may need the hands for that transition. If you can, we go for no hands. So we have 3 more rounds. We're going to do it using our breath. So find your warrior 2, spread the arms out. Take a breath to prepare. And away we go. Inhale, front leg will straighten, reach the arms up, front toes lift. Exhale, sit back to that Skandasana, bend the right knee, keep the right heel grounded. And inhale, both legs are straight, reach the arms tall. Exhale, ground the left toes, warrior 2. 2 more times. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, back in Vira 2. Nice. This is the last one. Inhale to rise. Left toes are lifting. Exhale to descend. Right heel stays grounded. Then push back up. Inhale, arms reach tall. Exhale, we find warrior 2. So fantastic. From here, circle hands to mat. Back heel will lift. As you drop that right knee, shuffle the left foot out wider. Find your lizard lunge. Turning the left toes off to the side. Letting the left knee fall out towards the left hand side. Staying here or reaching the left arm back behind you. Option to bend up the right knee and work to catch hold of the outside of the ankle, just because that's what we're going to be doing in a moment. It's going to help us. So flex the foot, catch the outside, and if there's space, take the right forearm down to the mat. Really working this twist, so peeling the left shoulder back behind us. Opening up through the collarbone. Taking 2 full breaths. Last one. And very gently, we release the right leg. Ground the palms flat. And tuck the back toes, back knee will lift. We step ourselves back to plank. Then shuffle both heels to left. Inhale, right arm to sky, look up. Exhale, coming through the push-up. Dropping the knees. Inhale, send those hips back. And exhale, spring through. This is our final push up. Make it count. Press straight back to the top before lowering to the floor. Final back bend here, push off the floor, find upward facing dog. And as we exhale, we'll drop the knees, send the hips back towards the heels, and let the arms rest down by the side as we drop the head. Taking a few breaths here, allowing your arms and shoulders to have a little breather. And we'll slowly start to sit back onto the heels. This is where we're going to use our block. So again, if your block is a little more firm, pop a towel on top because our knee will be grounded on top. So remember, we started our practice finding that hip opening baby half moon shape where we tucked the right toes under to have a little bit of stability as we open the hip. This time we won't have the luxury of tucking the right toes under. In fact, we won't have the luxury of grounding the right foot down at all. We're going to set our right knee onto the block. Set the right hand underneath the right shoulder and squeeze the right heel in towards the bottom. That's right, so the right foot is going to stay elevated. You're going to ground down the left fingertips as you extend the left leg back behind you. Push through the right side of the body to reach the left side up a little higher. So keep weight in the right hand, keep weight in the right knee, but really work to keep that right foot lifting up off the mat. If it needs to touch down for a moment along the way, that's okay, but we work to squeeze the heel in. Keep the core active. Like we did before, we lean forward to lift the left leg in the air. Notice the balance is a little more unstable now. So we really need to work the core. You want to feel the glute working, you want to feel the belly pulling in. And if you want to find a little more of a challenge today, we work to squeeze the left heel in towards the bottom, reach the left arm back and see if we can catch hold of the left ankle. Keeping the foot flexing, trying to push the heart forwards, peel that left shoulder back just a little more. Finding stability in the unstable, calm in the chaos. Take one last breath. As you exhale gently, extend that left leg back. We're going to set the left hand down, close off the left hip, but keep that left leg floating. Start to reach the right arm out in front of you. So we're still squeezing right heel in. This time we're grounding through left hand and right knee. Take a breath in. As you exhale, right elbow comes to left knee. Nice work. 2 more times. Inhale, right arm forward, left leg back. Exhale, squeeze them in. Last time. Inhale, reach that right arm forward, left leg back. Then exhale, draw in and squeeze, right elbow taps the left knee. Then we set everything back onto the mat. Remove that block. Oh, nice work. Really, really unstable. It's weird when you think about it. We've only lifted ourselves this high off the mat, but because we're not grounding that foot down anymore, the brain starts to go a little bit haywire. So just know that we're not on top of a skyscraper. We're still safe on our yoga mat. We're just giving the mind and the body a little extra challenge. So we just have the left side to go here. Block's going to go underneath the left knee this time. You're going to set that left hand down. Squeeze your left heel in. And as you ground through the right fingertips, extend the right leg back. Ground the foot down flat. Then push down through the left hand. Start to reach your right arm up towards the sky. Then make sure you're gripping the mat with the left fingertips here. Engage through that right glute and work to lean forward and hover the right leg up and off the mat. So both sides are not going to be stable. Don't expect them to be. Maybe you have one good side, one dodgy side. Maybe today they feel both dodgy. So you can stay right where you are or work to very gently draw the right heel in and maybe catch hold of the right ankle. And I notice for me personally on this side, My left toes are really liking the idea of grounding onto the floor. Just know that that's completely okay. You're just doing the very best you can in this moment. Whether it works tremendously or not, doesn't really matter. You're peeling that right shoulder back, flexing those right toes. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, we'll gently extend that right leg back and set down the right hand, square off through the hips. Keep the right leg floating, start to reach the left arm straight out in front of us. We are so close. Just 3 times. We pause for the inhale. The exhale, left elbow finds the right knee. Inhale, extend, keep that right foot flexing. Exhale, draw the 2 together. And last time, inhale, extend. Exhale, draw elbow to knee. Then gently set yourself down onto the mat. Remove that block. You probably never want to see it again. And just allow yourself to sit down onto your bottom, taking the soles of feet together and letting the knees fall out wide. We've spent a lot of time on the hands and on the wrists. If you have the space, we're going to take the forearms underneath the shins here so that the palms can face up towards the sky. So a sign of offering, facing the palms up, but also a chance for the fingers to naturally curl in. You shuffle your hips back in space. Press the balls of the feet together. As you allow your head to drop, gently roll your left ear over towards your left shoulder. Take a full breath in here. And coming back through center. And take the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Take a full breath in. Just allowing your head to fall back to center. Trying to guide your chest further forward as you roll your shoulders back. And depending on how much time you have today, you might like to roll down onto your back. Coming down and finding some space in Shavasana. I invite you to take whatever it is your body needs right now to help seal off your practice. I want to thank you so much for working on your balance today, working to challenge yourself, hopefully having a laugh or 2 along the way. I know that I did. As always, I want to thank you so much for your support, and if there's anything I can do for you, please feel free to reach out. Peace.